Hidey-Ho Friends, and welcome to part 4 and the finale of my mini-series that I like to call Candle Like It's 2022. Today we're going to talk all things Candle Crocks, and if you missed parts 1 through 3, where we talked about introduction to candle lamps and candle crocks, and then all the details I could think of on low-end and high-end candle crocks, those parts will be in, links will be in the description box below, so check those out. So why would we want to use candle crocks instead of burning candles? Some candles may give you too much soot, they may tunnel, they may have puny wicks. For any kind of problem issue you're having with burning candles, the candle crock and candle lamps are great alternatives to that. You also may live somewhere that does not allow burning candles, but you love home fragrance, right? You can still use that home fragrance and those candles by using candle lamps and candle crocks. I am personally sensitive to the kerosene note that some people get in some candles. I get that with most candles, and that's why I switched exclusively to candle lamps and candle crocks years ago. I feel like I get a pure fragrance of what it was intended to be because I get that kerosene note when there's fire to it. So the way that candle crocks work is it melts. Let's grab a Bath and Body Works candle. It will melt the candle from the bottom up. So it does melt the entire candle. So be ready for that. It's not going to just do half of it or a layer. The candle lamps will melt from the top down, and it does just do a layer at a time. So that's a way to prolong it even more. But cost-wise, candle crocks are also more cost-effective, I'll say. Candle crocks are around $30, at least at the time I'm filming this, and I will leave links in the description box below as well to some Amazon candle crocks. But let's go ahead and look at, this is the first one that I ever bought, and unfortunately it's not available anymore. Like I said, links below to some that are, and I believe all the others that I have are available. But ultimately, a candle crock has a heating plate at the very bottom, so it melts that candle from the bottom up. So you do not get any fragrance until the entire candle is melted. So it takes quite a while, especially if you've got a full Bath and Body Works candle or you've got a full Yankee. It's going to take even longer for this to get the entire candle melted to release that fragrance. So I mention that because if you have people coming over, they're going to be there in 30 minutes, they're going to be there in an hour, turning on a candle crock is not the best way to get quick fragrance, okay? But the candle lamp is a lot quicker if you want that ability to get quick fragrance. They do, both the crock and the lamp give stronger usually fragrance. So even if you have a weak candle scent from burning, try candle crock, try candle lamp. You may get stronger scent throw from using these other methods. So as we said, it melts from the bottom up. It melts the entire thing. And the key there is also it melts it. So when you put a candle in a candle crock, the candle has to be in another vessel, right? It needs to be in a glass container or, a jar or whatever, because it melts it. And this is not intended to hold the wax. That was a question I saw, so I wanted to address that. It does have to be in another vessel, basically. The whole vessel goes into the crocks. So here's another one that I have. And all of these candle lamps, by the way, are a little over 6 inches tall, about 6 1/4 inches tall. They all have little feet on them to kind of lift them up off of the surface. Now, if you're putting this on a wood a piece of wood furniture, you may want to put some kind of coaster or trivet or something under this because of that heat. But if it's going on like a countertop, you know, a stone or granite countertop, it should be fine. And it may be fine with being on wood, but just in case, especially if it's something, a precious piece of furniture, right? So we talked about the feet. Inside, this is the brand actually that is most available on Amazon, and it's Lanza, L-A, let me get back to that. No, Elaine's, E-L-A-N-Z-E. They're about $30. So this is one that I have. I also have a black one, pretty much the same as the last one, but black instead. And then I have one that has the Footprints in the Sands poem, or whatever you want to call that, on here. If you've never read this, you need to read it. This is, so as you may have noticed as well, these do not have a light, an indicator light showing that they're on. Most of them will have this type of switch. See if I can get it to focus. We'll have this type of switch, and you can see as I turn it, that red shows. So that's the way these indicate that they're on. So this is off, it's all white, and then this is on, it's got that red showing. And as far as the length on these cords, I did not measure. I would say this one's about 2.5, 3 feet maybe. Now, what size candles do they fit? That's the big question, right? So it fits Bath and Body Works candle almost perfectly. You can see there's a little bit of room bigger than that, but I wouldn't go much bigger than a Bath and Body Works candle. You also notice that this is not taller, this is shorter. So it does not have to be a tall candle up here. The problem, the only little glitch, I guess, in having a shorter candle is you have to reach in to grab it. And honestly, I turn these off before I take out the candle, because when it's all melted wax, it's hard to get a grip on it in here and pull it out. And I leave these on 24 hours a day, and that's because it takes so long to melt the candle. You know, you do you as far as safety, but just know it takes several hours to melt the entire candle and several hours to release any fragrance. So plan ahead, or you can have these on timers or something, you know, a smart plug, something like that, if you're wanting it to turn off every day. Another little safety mention is, because this heats the wax, the candle, from the bottom up, the wicks in a candle are actually glued to the bottom. So when it heats the candle, your candle is sitting on that hot plate, it's going to dislodge that glue holding the wicks in place, and those wicks are just free to move about. So once you put a candle in here, do not try to burn it, because those wicks could be in very dangerous spots at that point. Okay, so we looked at a Bath and Body Works candle, gave us a little room. Let's talk about like a large Yankee. This is not Yankee, but this is basically what they're in. It fits in here, and of course it's a little taller, so that works as well. It's going to take even longer, like I said, to melt this wax, but it will do it. It will. Another question I think I saw somewhere, you do have to take the lids off of the candle to release the fragrance. Okay? And I would not honestly even leave it on to get it moving, melting faster. As soon as I put it in here, the lid comes off. We don't want to be unsafe with our Candle Crocks. So another one, I don't know that I've actually said a measurement yet, but another candle that fits great in here is a Kringle large jar. And you can see there's lots of room. Some of this room is taken up by that bottom piece that's a little wider, but still it works great. Again, gonna take a while because that candle is so tall and thick, basically, to melt it. And of course we have little versions. We have the medium jars. Those will go in. Those will go in. And we also have medium Kringle as well. That will fit in as well. Now, some people ask if it has to be that wide of a candle. Does it have to fill the whole space? It doesn't. Let me grab this one. So if also have some DW home candles, say a little, single wick candle, that will fit just fine in there. It doesn't have to come close to the edge either. It'll still melt it. So that also applies to a one wick Bath and Body Works. Like I said, take the lid off. So where you start getting into the sizes that won't fit are Homeworks, obviously. I mean, let me actually get you a measurement on here. Try to hold it and show you. So this is about 4 1/4 inch wide opening. I would say just a hair over 4-inch candle wide will fit in here, and the height doesn't matter in Candle Crocks. So in candle lamps, you can fit wider candles, but you're still limited on how tall they are. I haven't come across one so tall that wouldn't fit under those, but I'm sure they're out there. So a Homeworks is obviously not going to fit in here. So you may know Scentworks. These are at Kohl's, and they have a little bit of an odd shape to them. It's not just the lid, it's the whole candle jar. So these will not fit. It kind of sits in there, as you can see, but it won't go all the way down. So the top is a little bit wider than when it gets further down. So that's good to know, and why we kind of took away on a little over 4 inches wide will fit. Okay, let's see. What other questions have I seen on Candle Crocks? A question of, do you put it in a glass jar? Yes, it's got to have some type of vessel. How long can you keep the warmer on? We talked about that. I keep mine on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, unless I'm switching them. And then in that case, I turn it off, I let it completely cool, and then I kind of pick it up and tilt it to get the candle to slide out. And I put them in that way as well, because, you don't want to crack the glass when you're putting it in there, taking it out. Can you use wax melts in this? Absolutely. You can use these as a wax melter if you want. You do need a vessel to put them in. So, I would recommend like a Bath and Body Works glass. Once you're done with a candle, put it in the freezer, pop it in the freezer for, say, overnight. And in the morning, most likely you can just pop the wax out of here with the wicks and everything. And then you've got an empty candle jar that you can put a whole bar of wax in if you want. How large is the actual base of the warmer? Wide on these I would say about 5 inches probably. Do you have to remove the stickers? No, you do not. And even this one, I would put in just like this. It's got an entire wraparound on it, plus it's got this bottom sticker. You don't have to take that stuff off when you put it in the Candle Crocks. I've never had a problem with it at all. I think that's about it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below and I'll be sure to answer them. I think that about wraps up this finale. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was helpful. If so, give me a thumbs up. If not, give me a thumbs down. It doesn't matter. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this mini series, and maybe I'll have some other method in the future to talk about. Until then, I have weekly Wednesday wax meltdowns where I talk about what I have melted in the last week, and usually I have some type of Saturday haul or review or something that I share. So be sure to subscribe so any videos that I upload will show up in your subscription feed. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.